Well, here we are again, folks, with another repair request. This is a Hornby Class 28XX locomotive, and it was sent to me by a chap called Jack. And he told me that used to run fine, but has stopped playing ball. So let's turn on the power and see what happens. Nothing. Oh, there we go. Come on. Yeah, it's not too clever, is it? Oh dear. Yeah, so that's not running too well. I think the motor probably just needs a good service, but I think there's a connection issue between the locomotive and the tender, I would say. But we'll take it to the bench and take it to bits and see what's what. See if this makes it into the shed. So this is the first 28XX I've looked at. This one's in its Great Western green livery. Nice locomotive. Handrail popping out here. Right, just pop that handrail back in, it's coming out. Right, okay, so well, that's fine. There's no contact washer on the drawbar, so I think maybe fitting one of those might be a good idea. But I'm assuming this is just picking up through the chassis and it'll pick up through the tender, because it's a ring-filled motor. This looks as if it's been off a couple of times. Commutator will need a good clean, so I think we're doing a pretty straightforward ring-filled service and try and improve the electrical conduction between the locomotive and the tender, I think. So, you've seen me do this a few times, take a ring-filled apart. This is one of the ones where you've got to get the screwdriver down in there, push and lever it. So it comes out. She'll disconnect that. It's all quite clean actually, not bad condition at all. But we'll do the usual business on it, so let's just take it to bits. Take the clip out, take the gears out, we'll pull the wheels. Gears come off with it. Take the wheels and gears off. We've got the clips in there, and yeah, all clips are intact. It's amazing the variations in the design of the Hornby Ringfield. There are many different ones. Right. Okay. Take these screws out. And then springs and brushes and everything should all come falling out, which it does, that's fine. Brushes and springs look nice and clean actually. There we go. A bit of oil in there. There's the commutator. Just mop up that oil. Shouldn't really be there. We'll get the T-cut on the commutator. Give it a squish. Where's my manky brush? It's gone wokies again. I'm telling you, that brush, I'm convinced it's got a mind of its own. Where's it gone now? Let's get some T-cut on the axles, give them a clean. The brushes are in excellent condition, they don't even need cleaned. The gears, let's have a look at them. Gears all look fine. Oh no, we've got a bad gear. We've got a broken tooth on this gear here, so that needs replaced. So this won't be running today because that I need to get hold of a replacement for that. I think we'll give these ones a wee bit of a file as well. There's a bit of a flash on the back of this one I don't like. So I'll have a quick look at the locomotive. Yeah, we've got quite a bit of fluff here. There we go. That gonna come out? Yep. Right, okay, we've got the glowing firebox, and we've got little bits of polystyrene and fluff and goodness knows what else. I think we'll just do a continuity test on these wheels. So I should have a beep between here and here. Yep. And yep. I'll pop this back on just now. Pop this in here. And I think we'll take this underframe off to see what state the axles are in. Because if there's too much oil or grease, that could be causing a pickup issue. Just lift off. There we go. Yeah, we've got lots of fluff. Little foreign objects. Lots of tiny little bits of polystyrene. And I'll get these axles cleaned out. What looks like carpet fibres or something. I could do with a little miniature hoover or something for in here. It's just full of fibres and what looks like pet hair. Right, we'll get some fresh oil on the axles. And we'll pop this underframe back on to keep everything in place. I don't know if you can see, lots of fibres and little bits of polystyrene. I really don't like the polystyrene boxes that the locomotives used to come in because little bits of polystyrene break off and get inside. Right, that back in there. Okay. All seems a bit cleaner. We'll get some oil on all the linkages. Right, okay, so I think we're done with the locomotive. I will fit a contact spring onto there. I have some on order actually because I want to fit one on my Black 5. I just right through my box of bits and look what I found, a spare gear. Can't remember where that came from, but I don't need to order one up. Right, we'll put this back together. So we'll pop this on and then we'll pop the brushes in. We'll screw this into position loosely. So we can then get a spring in there. Squash it down and then tighten that, and then do the same with the other one. So, battery test. A bit of oil in there, a bit of oil behind that pinion, and then we do the gears. So we get the old molly grease onto the spindles. And put these gears on first. Put the clip on. So I'll tell you what I haven't done. I haven't scooshed out the axle shafts. Got to do that. So a bit of fresh oil on that axle. and that's going to go through from here. So we'll fit the wheels with the traction tyres. Right, we'll check the back to back. 14.1 is fine. Okie dokie. Battery. Okay, the traction tyre on this wheel is a bit loose, so we'll fit a new one on. I think this one will fit. Like that. That's better. And that one's okay. Righty ho. We shall get this popped on. Put that in. Connect that up. Put that on. And there we go. Okay, let's pop this on the test track. See if it goes. That works fine. We'll stick it in the layout though, because if there's any connection issue between the locomotive and the tender, that'll show up on the layout. Okay, let's see if this comes out the shed. So the motor's running fine, but there's still a connection issue between the locomotive and the tender. You know, just a wee bit stuttery in places and a wee bit lumpy. So I've ordered up some of the little Hornby contact spring washers to go in the drawbar. Hopefully that'll fix it, but if not, I could put a little wire between the drawbar and the chassis somewhere. Okay, so a couple of days later, I've got one of those little contact spring washers that I'm going to fit onto the drawbar, which should hopefully improve the connection. So you probably can't see that, but these little washers are kind of sort of squashed into a shape that maintains contact between the drawbar and the chassis. So tighten that up. The drawbar will be a bit stiffer, but that should be making a better contact. Right, we'll go and try it in the layout now. Okay, let's see how this runs now. That's a lot better. Perfect. So there we go, that's this Hornby Class 28XX locomotive running really nicely now. The little contact washer that I fitted has certainly improved the lumpy running issue. It's ensuring a much better contact between the locomotive and the tender. Off camera, I also bent the drawbar down just a tiny little bit because I noticed the tender was being lifted just a tiny little bit off the track at the front, and I think that was also causing, you know, a bit of a pickup issue. Also went back and readjusted the back-to-back on the tender wheels that were a little bit narrow, just widened them out by about 0.2 of a millimetre, and that seems to have run it a little bit better over points. It was stumbling a little bit. If you've got a tender driven locomotive and it kind of stumbles in points, it's probably your back-to-back measurement just needs adjusted, either wider or narrow, it'll depend. I usually set back-to-back about 14.1, but I've pulled these tender wheels out to 14.4. And they seem to run fine. So we'll get this packaged up and sent back to Jack, and that's us until the next time. Right, catch you later, folks.